Well, 20 people graduated from the FBI Civilians Academy tonight. For 7 weeks, FBI agents shared their crime-solving tactics and revealed details of dramatic criminal cases. Among them are the boy in the bunker and the daring rescue of a young child held hostage for nearly a week. It's a case that continues to receive national attention. Now, the course taught at the Wiregrass Public Safety Center provided insight into several other intriguing cases and gave those who attended more knowledge of how they do things.
Safety, crimes in the city, notices to criminals, right, and the information that we can relate to constituents on how to reach the FBI if they ever see any situation that is alarming.
The next Civilians Academy class will be chosen by those who graduated from this year's class.